Hey everyone, it's WrestleMania back again with more news. Join us as we dive into the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including details on DA's departure, Caleb Axton rejecting WWE, tonight's Smackdown set, big plans for Bryan Danielson, did Tony Khan make an outrageous claim, an ex-personality wanting to return to WWE, WWE passing on a name for Jacob Fatu, and much more. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive content. Also, check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. Now, let's roll the intro and dive into our first story, music. First, let's look at the details on DA's departure. Topping today's news are more details on his departure from WWE. As we mentioned in our previous news video, WWE chose not to renew DA's contract, and now Fightful Select is offering additional information on what, if any, negotiations took place to keep DA and how he was perceived backstage. The report from Fightful's Patreon account stated that DA had no idea when WWE opted not to renew his deal, finding out 2 weeks after a taping. DA, who previously worked on the main roster as Tar, a member of the Fizzle faction Retribution, was recently drafted to Raw, but WWE did very little with him. Corey Brennan has learned from various WWE and NXT sources that DA was well liked and praised by officials in the company. As DA confirmed in his tweet, he was originally set to challenge for the NXT title before being called up without any notice to Monday Night Raw during the WWE draft. According to Fightful, Shawn Michaels valued DA's work, and while they had minor creative disagreements, things were worked out. Fans might be interested to know that DA is discounting his cameo rates to $49, celebrating WWE no longer taking half of his cameo earnings. His departure is the latest in a series of releases, including talent contracts not being renewed and wrestlers choosing not to renew their WWE deals. From DA's tweet, it's interesting to note that WWE actually takes half of their pay, which seems like a lot. Next up, Caleb Axton rejected WWE. According to Dave Meltzer, WWE personality Caleb Braxton decided not to renew her WWE deal. WWE and Caleb Braxton were in talks for renewal, but she chose not to sign a new deal. Meltzer noted that Caleb's WWE work was well regarded backstage, and she should have no problem finding work outside WWE. Next, WWE is changing up the Smackdown set. If you tune into tonight's Smackdown, you might notice a difference in the set as WWE brings the blue brand to Madison Square Garden. PW Insider's Mike Johnson reported that WWE will be using a scaled-back set for Friday Night Smackdown tomorrow at Madison Square Garden. The smaller set is due to WWE opening up more seats for the show. WrestleTix recently reported on the setup for Friday's show and how many tickets are left. Currently, there are only 1,414 tickets left, and Ringside News is reporting that the show will be a huge success in terms of ticket sales. The distributed total of 16,646 tickets surpasses WWE's last appearances at the venue, including the Holiday Super Show on December 26, 2023, which had an attendance of 15,831. This is another reminder of WWE's strong performance on the business side of things. Next, big plans for Bryan Danielson. AEW wrestler Bryan Danielson is expected to enter semi-retirement soon, but according to a new report from The Observer, Danielson isn't going out quietly. The American Dragon is set to have a major turnaround as he nears retirement, regrouping from earlier losses this year. With Danielson competing in the Owen Hart Cup, he could win it and earn an AEW World Heavyweight Championship match at All In, potentially closing his full-time schedule with one last world title win. Next up, an update on Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland is recovering from the ankle injury he suffered at Double or Nothing. This week's Observer noted that Copeland had 5 screws and a plate put into his broken left ankle and is recovering from surgery. There's no update on his recovery time, but the Rated R superstar's absence is being felt, with Meltzer noting that Dynamite's ratings in Canada have dipped since Copeland's absence. Next, Penta is aiming for a big payday. Current AEW star Penta is looking for a big payday with his next wrestling deal. Money is a significant factor in wrestlers' decisions on where to sign, and Penta's decision is money-based for a good reason. Meltzer reported that Penta believes this is probably his last big money deal, as he's 39 and has a lot of people counting on him, so he has to consider everything. This suggests he'll go where he gets the best offer. Next, Tony Khan's outrageous claim. It's time to address a rumor about some alleged remarks from AEW President Tony Khan regarding AEW's attendance figures in 2024. Khan recently appeared on Fox Business to discuss AEW, including negotiations between the promotion and TV partner Warner Bros. Discovery. However, what caught fans' attention was a blurb that read 500 million plus people attended 110 plus AEW events in 2024. This impressive number would make any organization ecstatic, but it turns out this isn't true. Fightful Select's Sean Ross Sapp reported that Tony Khan said nothing of the sort during the interview, and it was an error by Fox Business. People claiming Khan made this statement are misinformed and didn't verify the interview. Sapp posted a video from the interview clarifying what Khan said and how Fox Business made the mistake. While fans are used to promotions exaggerating attendance figures, only a die-hard AEW hater would believe Khan was trying to pass this astronomical number as accurate. Next, a WWE superstar seconding a UFC fighter. Rumors of WWE and UFC doing crossover promotion are true, as WWE superstar Shinsuke Nakamura will reportedly be cornering Rei Tsuruya in his UFC 303 fight Saturday. There were previous rumors that TKO Holdings wanted to create more synergy between its companies, UFC and WWE. NXT's roster recently held a PLE at the UFC facility. What do you think of this latest crossover? Let us know in the comments. Next, Coach wants to return to WWE. Jonathan Coachman has had 3 stints in WWE, including an extended one from 1999 to 2008, where he served in various roles, including backstage interviewer, announcer, on-screen personality, and occasional in-ring competitor. He also developed a career in sports broadcasting, with a lengthy run at ESPN and more recently CBS Sports. His most recent WWE stint was from 2018 to 2021, providing commentary and co-hosting pay-per-view pre-shows. Coachman has criticized WWE and the XFL for not paying his travel expenses after XFL's bankruptcy. During an interview on the Angle podcast, Coachman discussed what went wrong during his latest WWE run. When I returned, I wasn't treated well by certain people, maybe they were jealous of my role in commentary. I tried to play the ESPN guy, which was a mistake. Coachman talked about his best role in WWE and whether he'd be open to a return. My best self is a heel coach, talking trash and getting physical. There's no reason I can't do that in 2024 and still maintain my credibility in sports hosting. If I go back, I'd be open to it, but not as a straightforward announcer. That's not me. Some people didn't want me there, and it was like being in a 3-person announce booth where no one cooperates. It was all about self-interest, and I got shut out. Coachman also discussed Vince McMahon's expectations for him and how they clashed with reality. During my first decade with WWE, I missed only one Monday night out of 520, but in 2018, I had a golf contract and had to miss 5 Mondays. Vince got upset, thinking I didn't want to be there, but I already had the golf deal when WWE called me back. I thought it was a good cross-promotion opportunity, but Vince didn't see it that way, so they moved me to pay-per-view previews and made it easy to let me go during the cuts. Do you think WWE has any interest in bringing back Coachman? Let us know in the comments. Lastly, Jacob Fatu's original name. It appears WWE's recent trademarking of the name Caesar Sikoa was all for nothing, as Dave Meltzer reported in this week's Observer. With Jacob Fatu debuting under his own name, WWE's trademark for Caesar Sikoa won't be used for him. Caesar Sikoa was the initial idea for Fatu's name, but they chose to keep his real name, Jacob Fatu, which is surprising. It's noted that WWE's approach to names has changed from the Vince McMahon era, where full ownership of names was preferred, to the current regime, which isn't as quick to change names of established stars. Meltzer pointed out that WWE's focus on Jacob Fatu is interesting since most fans know him best from his run in Major League Wrestling. However, WWE still owns the Caesar Sikoa name, which could be used.